driver off the deck for Corey Connors.
Here's driver off the deck for Victor Hovland.
So the driver off the deck. I know you would try this, right?
Oh my, what a shot.
Just to be able to hit it off the deck and get that thing down and fly it and running.
You have to put your foot on the gas. You pull out the driver off the deck and you put it on the green all the way up the hill.
Welcome back to another episode of Off the Deck. Mr. Kam Kelly, what's happening?
What's up, brother?
How are things in your world?
Busy. Well, that's the wrong word. Let's redefine busy. Overwhelmed.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hate that you're overwhelmed.
Well, my daughter just turned 1. Still trying to understand dad life and everything else that we're trying to do as a family. But, you know, it's nothing that I don't have a lot of great, wonderful men, especially girl dads in my corner, you especially. So I'm in good company, but, you know, it's just same shit, different day.
Yeah, I understand that completely. And it doesn't get easier. It just, the challenges change and you start having grown-up conversations. Like, so our daughter started a new school this week because we just moved, and she's going through breaking up with her boyfriend. She's in 4th grade, breaking up with her boyfriend from the previous school because she's already met a new boy at the new school. And I'm like, what are we doing?
The first
like,
time. Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, so where did you guys move to now? Because you were in Homewood, right?
We were in Hoover. We stayed in Hoover.
Okay.
Yeah, we stayed in Hoover, but wanted to get some newer construction and just wanted to, we needed more of a community around Whitaker, our daughter. Wanted her to have a place where she can run around and play outside. And we had where we lived was fantastic in Hoover. But now we're in a neighborhood that has sidewalks everywhere. She's, for the first time ever, she had a kid come and ring our doorbell and say, "Hey, can Whitaker come outside and play?" Like, she had not ever experienced that until this move. And like, she got home today from school, she hopped off the bus and she was like, "Hey, I'm going to Caroline's house to play." And I was like, "Okay, I'll see you later." And she was like, when do I need to be home? And I was like, dark. I don't know. I've never done this before.
Well, you did it as a kid.
Yeah, but the world was different then. That was 32 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's fair, but at least within the same neighborhood, I would like to give the benefit of the doubt. But no, you're right. But that's awesome. I love that for you guys.
Yeah, and you're about to enter an incredibly fun age too. If your daughter's 1, some of my fondest memories are of my daughter when she was like 2 and 3, because that's when like Sesame Street is like full bore, and they start picking up on music and singing songs. Like the letter of the day on Sesame Street, like if I've sang it once, I sang it 500 times. Like that's stuff that you're going to really, really enjoy.
Yeah. No, it's very interesting, even within the last few months, on how things have transitioned. And definitely I'm going to be the one that is like, she has 2 teeth and I didn't even think, oh, hey, we should probably start brushing those teeth. So it's little things like that. I'm looking, where are the top 2? Where are all these other teeth?
Right.
And she's had them for probably at least a month or 2. And took her for a year checkup, and I'm like, have you found a dentist? No. So little things like that. But I digress.
Yeah. Well, there's no greater joy in my life than being a parent. And I'm so thrilled for y'all to get to experience that too. And you get to the point, like I was just saying with mine, with the whole boy trouble, whatever she's going through right now as a 4th grader. At one point she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm dating so and so." I'm like, "You haven't dated anybody. You have not been on a date.
You
go to the same school." Like,
right.
That's the extent of dating. And so it just, like I said, the challenges just change. They don't get any easier, but then you realize, like, you'll blink and you'll be like, "Oh, she's not a little baby girl anymore. She's an adult."
Right.
You can have real adult conversations, and that gets a lot of fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
But take it all in while you can right now, because you'll blink and she'll be that 10-year-old talking back to you from the back seat.
The days are long, but the years are short.
That's well said.
It's essentially, That's essentially like how I can, and I can't remember who said that to me, or, it just kind of developed, but it is the absolute truth. These days can last a super long time, but the fact that she's already a year old is crazy to me.
Yeah.
So,
well, this is a golf podcast, and I love that we're not even talking about golf.
Let's talk about some golf. What do we want to talk about?
Well, I want to talk about the inspiration for you and your events and how those came to be, because we've sat by many a fire and had many a conversation well into the evening, and I don't know that I've ever asked you about the Kingdom and how those came to be.
Yeah. So, gosh, what was it? I think it was 2018.
For the listeners who don't know, because I know a lot of people will listen to this that have experienced your events, but what are they?
Yeah. So right now there's it's like a side hustle of just the King Collective that came into effect. I guess the third year I've started like to do these golf events, and everyone's doing a golf event. This was before COVID. The circumstances have always changed year to year, but I was in a time in my life where I just moved to Knoxville, and I was looking. I'd gotten back into golf, and I was so addicted to this boutique golf era that we had, and it was glorious. But so many different new creators, so many different, just I think that was really the early birthplace of what you're seeing now with even YouTube golf, and in different ways. I think that's all shaped in its own matter and own way. But like, I started networking a lot more with people in the golf community throughout. I just started buying everything, and that was my way of meeting people and getting things. And I don't know why I did that. That was very not financially smart. But I then figured out, okay, what I liked, met a lot of people, started collecting stuff, which I've been known to have a few things along with, Cigar Don and all those other guys that just were junkies. And so everything stays in the family. But otherwise, these events, I started meeting more and more people. And then Zach Blair, I got an invite to the Ringer. And I was late to the party. It was, I believe it was the third Ringer at Dormy Club. And I was able to go there and meet just some fantastic individuals and understand, okay, meeting a lot of people that I really enjoy being around, even outside of golf. What's something that I can do, whether it be one time a year, if they're in California or if they're next door, like what's something that I can do? Figured that was also a time I was getting really involved with Sweetens Cove, getting a membership there and developing a relationship with Matt. I figured, why not have an event at Sweetens and figure out if people I've got some ideas. Do people like them? Sure. Maybe we'll figure it out. And, I worked with, shout out Seth McWhorter, another, very, very talented individual who he has done all of my branding. I think we've probably have close to 50 assets. It wouldn't surprise me, over 7 years. Yeah. I think the second year we probably had 8 or 9 logos, which is just stupid. Yeah. So, I mean, the whole purpose, again, like I've only done one a year. It was a creative outlet for me. And, I wanted to bring people together. It really wasn't anything more than that. And I just thought, let's do things a little differently. Once I did an event, I told myself I'd never do it again. And so far I would like to do some events over again because they're awesome, but I think it's just something that I needed for myself to bring people together. And, at the end of the day, and you're well familiar, it's not about the game. It's about the people. It's always people. And it's how can you bring those people together through, whether it's a game, song, wisdom, whatever you do. So that's kind of a little bit, I mean, again, still doing it once a year. I tried to do a little bit more. I can't compete with the golfers journals of the world, and the fried egg, like they've got it down. So
well, they
to a
have
T, and
staff.
yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like I'm not up to streamline it out to a staff and all of that stuff, but I just no matter where it's at, I think it's really cool to tie a lot of things in, and I love Easter eggs, so everything's a hidden gem, and even within the logo. So it's just the little details. I'm down that rabbit hole. Man, I could talk. If you want to spend 2 hours on the phone talking about freaking the details I've had over 7 years, I'd love it. It's so cool. It's a lot of fun. So those that create in their own way know what I'm talking about.
Well, and that was so. I wanted what venues you've done? Sweetens Cove, you've done the Fields Club, you've done Goat Hill.
Yeah, so we did the first 2 years, so Breakfast at Tiffany's and Mad Hatter, 3 years, and Masquerade were at Sweetens. 4th year was Kingdom, that was at Goat Hill. And then year 5 was the Factory at Sugarloaf in Whitehall, New York. So Sugarloaf Field Club. And then last year was Fields Club, and this year is going to be Fields Club as well.
I love that you did the first one and were like, I'm never doing this again, and you just rattled off 6 years of venues.
Oh, I've probably got 30 different event ideas. I've got 3 different notebooks, just lists of different things. And I think looking at it not just from, say, a movie, which it's probably the easiest. I'm a very visual person when it comes to inspiration, and I take a lot of inspiration from tattoos and when working with Seth. But like, I try to look at things from a different lens, like last year being Hook, look at it from a villain perspective. It's those things to me, like doing Mad Hatter from his perspective and my interpretation of that, and not doing Alice in Wonderland. I don't even know if I want to do Alice in Wonderland again, because it'll get me too close to that. But you could do an event off of each character. And I'll say this before we move on, because what I initially wanted to do with the Factory is I wanted to have an event for each kid. And so we would do 4 events through the year, and then a 5th event to idolize like Willy Wonka. And I just couldn't logistically and time-wise figure it out. But that's like, those are the things that I think of, like doing an event strictly on Veruca Salt, who's not pleasant, and different things like that. But it just, you adapt, but it's so much fun.
I love what you said about just the creative aspect of it, because one of the things that, just for this podcast, and this is our, I think, 32nd or 33rd episode, is that I didn't realize how much I wanted an outlet to do this until I started doing it. And like, we all have 9-to-5s. I'm in sales, you're a pharmacist, but the purpose that it gave me, and just like, and I'm not I don't have an ounce of the creativity that you do, but being able to think about like a logo and design and putting all that together, and just like the freedoms I had to do it, like it gave a purpose that I hadn't experienced in a long time in a professional context. Like, we were talking about our children earlier, like that's a whole different level in conversation. But just there's something really fun and freeing about, like, hey, here's a blank slate, go create a podcast, or here's a blank slate, go create a golf event. And very similarly, it's not necessarily the same level as you do you have 50 or 60 people at a golf event. I love bringing people together to talk on here, because 90% of my guests are first timers on a podcast. And every single one of them, we finish recording and they're like, that was so much fun. And I'm like, yeah, isn't it great to talk about golf? We love talking about golf and all of our experiences. And so there's something about, it was one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you, was just that aspect of your life of creating those events and all of the sweat equity you put into them, it's a lot. And I'm sure there's when you get the logos and especially when you kind of see it come full circle from just a concept you have on one of those notebooks to then it becoming a reality and you seeing the swag and like just all of that has to be incredibly fulfilling.
Oh, 100%. That's why I do it. And there's, I mean, I don't play in any of the events.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't play. I've never played in any of the events. I've made it probably my number one rule is that I don't play in the event because one, I originally started doing these to bring people together, so I want to see everyone. So I get in a cart and I just like, yeah, I'll have my clubs and I'll hit shots, but like I want to see everyone on the course as much as I possibly can and catch up with every single person. So yeah, I don't play. I know that a lot of people do, and I don't hold that against them. I do find it a little salty when I see an event host win their own event, but who cares?
Yeah.
We're all amateurs here. Like, but that, I mean, that's a me thing. And two, like I've got too much anxiety of like, I want everything to be perfect. So I go back and like check everything and all that stuff. But at the end of the day too, I don't even know how some of those guys can do 20 plus events. I mean, granted, it's a little bit more streamlined, but that alone is impressive. So anyone doing this, I mean, they understand the work.
What's been the biggest challenge that you did not think would be a challenge?
I guess needing help in the way of I've got, and you met Logan. Without him, I feel like the things just start to unravel. He's like the glue that, especially on event day. And I don't think he'll hold this against me, but like, these day of wedding planners. And that's kind of how I see it in terms of a big event like that. You've got a wedding planner that has all their people taking care of everything. Logan is my people that takes care of everything. Like he's the brains. He will just do anything that is needed. And I didn't realize like how much, based on my own expectations, what I needed outside of, okay, hey, I cannot do this. This is not just a day of hosting buddies at Sweetens. This is like people paid some pretty decent money and traveled across the country. Like I need to make sure and deliver. And so I think that's where a lot of that comes from. But yeah, it changes from year to year, but I would say that's probably the biggest challenge I came into early on.
How open are clubs or courses to hosting the events?
That's a great question. It depends. I'm a little bit of a shy / bashful person. I don't like to ask people for things, especially like cold call. Like I will,
Right.
but
Hey, can I use your golf
still
course?
weird. Yeah. Well, and it's a matter of like understanding, okay, what does it take for me to rent out the golf course? And I understand I'm a nobody. But I think I mean, every course I've hosted an event, it's been through a network connection and a friend and, people that I've known and developed, through relationships. So I've thought about doing like trying to go big. I think from a budget perspective, I don't have the leverage to make it work unless people truly want to spend like $3,000 a weekend, which I don't want to do that. I'd rather have 72 people pay 500 to 1,000 to like 2 days, all you can eat. That's another thing that's big with me is people don't realize when you play golf and whether you're traveling or you're doing an event, how monumental the food is. And sometimes if you're not talking about the golf or the people that you met, you're talking about the food.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I plan the entire menu. Everyone's fed. You don't have to worry about.
You plan the entire menu.
Yep.
And source local restaurants to cater or what?
So while I was at Sweetens, I developed a really strong relationship with Jason Bowers, who's prominent in the Chattanooga area, and obviously with the food truck there. He and I on the same page. He absolutely, him and his team have just knocked it out of the park. And it started with breakfast at Tiffany's, so I did chicken and waffles for breakfast every year, and that was kind of the thing people associated with. But I developed relationships with local people outside in California. When we went over there, had a local restaurant and actually friend that I had met through going there, his restaurant catered. In Whitehall is a little different just because of the area, but we got another local place where we were able to source food. And then most recent at the Fields, I mean, the setup there is, and I don't have all of the handles to give the proper praise, but that changed my entire perspective on food at a golf course, was with Ashley in the Fields and working with Jamie in his restaurant, and the fact that he goes all out. Understanding the same day he didn't know the theme, and I talked to him for about an hour. By dinner, he had things, not only more than what we discussed, he had, mind you, this was for Hook, he had a sword, he had a treasure chest, he had pirate and everything themed.
Sick.
And then later on, he made ice cream for the guys with liquid nitrogen.
That's
nothing
cool.
we ever talked about. So it's things like that. Those guys are, hey, do you remember when Homeboy made ice cream with liquid nitrogen? What other golf event has done that? It's the little things that really, I mean, that's the randomness of what you remember brings you together. And I mean, we still got group chats for years. It's just really cool to bridge that gap. And for me to just see everyone enjoy it, that's the whole point. I mean, and then it's all chase for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's some beauty to some of the venues you've chosen of Sweetens. And I haven't experienced Sugarloaf in Whitehall, but I'm familiar enough with Goat Hill and how casual it is. Sweetens, obviously very casual. Fields Club, very casual. So you're going to places that you're not worried about taking your hat off when you walk inside. Or a tucked in polo shirt.
No, but if I were to do something like that, I know that that's not going to change kind of the atmosphere and the vibe. And I think that there's a big, I think there's a big, boundary and understanding respect of where we're at and having a good time, because again, too, I want everyone to have a good time, but the second you do something that disrespects yourself, the course, me, that's it.
Yeah.
Hold yourself to that standard. And I've never had an issue with that. I mean, they usually fall asleep before there's any problem.
Well, I was about to ask if you ever had to ban anybody from your events.
No, not ban. I have had to help carry someone off of Sweetens before.
Okay.
Bless his heart.
Which is not the first time. It won't be the last. That's happened.
No. Drinking and heat aren't a good combination. But otherwise, no. I'd never ban someone unless, they did something just absolutely moronic.
Illegal.
Otherwise, that too. Or hurt
So
someone.
the swag for these events has always been unbelievable. Which I'm embarrassed I haven't been able to attend one yet. What has been your favorite swag item? I mean, the trophies are incredibly ornate. I saw you.
The trophies are my favorite.
You did dunks one year, right? Custom dunks.
Yeah, Kingdom. We did custom dunks for everyone, and it was the elephant Jordan print, red and black on the checkered. Trying to think best swag item. Honestly, my favorite things are the trophies, because they're just absolutely absurd. But in terms of swag, I really try to think of practical stuff. So,
which I love that, because we all get golf towels. We all have
right.
Thousands
when I think of
golf
what would your wife like? What would your family use? Like, and also, what is something multi-purpose? So I got a little inspiration from the Masters when, they have candles. I don't know if people don't sleep on their candles. They're amazing.
Okay.
Finish burning it, and it's great rocks glass. And I keep looking because I've got one over here. But I did that when I was in Knoxville. It was for Masquerade. I did. There's a local glass blower who also owns a brewery. Pretentious brewery and Pretentious Glass Co. I've worked with them probably every year since Mad Hatter. They've done something for me. So Matt and I have a really good relationship, but I did one of their kind of neat tasting glasses, so it looks like a snifter, but then I also had a local like, I don't know, candle maker or, whoever makes just whatever type of candle, fill the glasses up. And that was one of the big tea gifts. And granted, I like people to have things. Like, if I could give everything away, I would, because I just love sharing that. But
Right.
it was a little bit of a candle. And then, when you're done doing it, you have the glass, and at the bottom was a stamp of one of the logos. So to me, I think the most practical stuff is the coolest. So that's definitely up there for me.
We got a blanket one year at another event, and like the
Blankets are also, I've done a lot of blankets.
Yeah, like that blanket is my like napping blanket. Like, I love that blanket.
Yeah.
So, and where does the inspiration, like we talked about the villains and you just pulling things from, and you said the notebooks, but is this the kind of thing that you're driving down the road and an idea just hits you and you're writing something down, and then that might be an event in 4 years? Or what does the planning look like for this? Because it's extensive what you do.
You've got a lot of great questions in the fact that, yeah, like that's why I like to really focus on one thing that I can do and just tear it up in so many different details. And looking at, like, one year there was a treasure hunt. You could find different, I did a riddle for each one of Sweeten's holes. And at the end of the riddle, there was a prize. At this point, it was a shot of Malort. You had to take the shot, and then I gave you it was like a Ben Franklin silver dollar or something different, so things like that. But yeah, essentially it's one of those things where if I come up with an idea, I have to write it down. Otherwise, in 10 minutes, I'll forget it. My wife helps me a lot with any inspiration of, hey, write this down. And she already knows what I'm talking about. But I try to give myself a few months to just not think about it. And then, and I know that I guess we're a family friendly podcast, but I take some vitamins and I just go into creative la la land.
Yes, technically family friendly, but yeah.
And I take some adult vitamins, and I just start thinking of things that I like and different things that make sense. These themes don't have to be a character. It could be a place. It could be, I've done movies, I've done books, I've done plays, I've done kind of really everything that you can think of. And honestly, the theme for this year is something that has been on my list for a while, and I'm not doing the main character of it, but yet when people figure it out, they're like, oh, okay, makes sense.
So when will you make that announcement?
Let's do it now. Why not? I don't have the branding, but I'm still working on the branding, but I'll tell people what it is.
You sure? You want to do that now?
Yeah. Why the hell not? Yeah.
Okay. So the 2026 King Collective, you call it King Collective, correct?
Yeah. King Collective, a flagship event for this year at the Fields. It's the last weekend of August. It's going to be the Sweeper. And it is going to be based off of Bert from Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
It's a chimney
That's cool.
It's a chimney sweep.
I cannot believe I
So
just got chills
those
from that, but I did. I got chills from
those
that.
so and dude, I have never told people the theme without having branding. So the fact that I don't have anything to show for it and just saying the theme is a lot for me, because I like to back up, I guess, whatever hype it is of understanding, I don't know, what is it? Like, it's got to be cool. So I would like for people to stew, and, those that know me or whoever, feel free to send me a text. But people that are close, they've guessed this theme. I'll never tell if someone
Awesome.
gets it right. Yeah, because it's usually not. They might guess, like last year, a ton of people guessed Peter Pan, but looking a little different. So
Right.
yeah, it's hard not to go. I mean, Mary Poppins is awesome.
So will you be
And
dressed
the
like Dick Van Dyke and Bert at the Fields Club?
I need that whole, what was the big drum on your back, and like the one man band that he had.
Right.
That's what I need. But that also gives me anxiety when I see all of that. But I'll have some sort of hat, or I don't know. Who knows?
Well, and one of the things I
We'll
love that you do is, like, you kind of hit on a little bit with Hook and how each of these characters have different elements, but you find all these different little threads and pull on them for the swag. Like you mentioned, the 8 or 9 logos for one of the events, and so it's cool that you take that character that already exists in, whether it's the Mary Poppins world or the world of Alice in Wonderland, and it's almost like you give that character new life that didn't have within the world that it lived in. Is that a fair statement?
100%. And I see that in real time as I am planning the event. I think Hook's a good example too, because going down that rabbit hole, I mean, that movie was a big inspiration, and everyone, I think a lot of people forget that Robin Williams role, and, the incredible cast that movie
Yeah, it was
had.
killer.
I mean, oh gosh, who was it? Glenn Close had a cameo in it that no one knows, or I guess if they've seen the videos, but
Where
like
was
as
she
one
in?
of the,
Okay.
so she went in the boo box. Remember at the beginning?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
That was
that was
Glenn
Glenn
Close?
Close. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So it's little things like that. And there's not a conspiracy, but like, I guess, a Reddit rabbit hole theory that Hook is not the villain, that Peter Pan is actually the true villain and has been hunting and like terrorizing Hook. That actually has a lot of legs. But it's things like that. Like, I mean, with Masquerade, the Phantom of the Opera, like that's probably been my favorite iconic character outside of Willy Wonka and all these other things. Like there have been a lot that have transformed my life. I mean, the people that I've met alone through these, I mean, one guy married me. I got married at Sweetens. Like that says,
I was gonna ask you about that. I want to talk about
that
that.
should say enough. Yeah. I got one of the sayings tattooed on my leg. Like, I don't know. It's just, I dig it right now.
What event's been your favorite?
Mad Hatter. It's the
Why?
best theme I think I can ever come up with ever. I don't know. It's just, I think the combination of the timing, being at Sweetens, the people that were there, the logos involved, something that I think I've only really talked about once or twice was we had a gentleman, his name is Jordan Barnett, really, really selfless, incredible, kind, wonderful individual. He came to the first few events, and he unfortunately ended up passing away after that. And he was one of those people that would send you a text of like, "Hey, bro, I sent you something," and it's like an insanely expensive custom, either golf accessory, a driver. I mean, so many people can vouch for me on this guy. He was just so incredible. And one of the things that I ended up doing was I ended up one of the logos with Mad Hatter, there's you can look at one of the logos on our Instagram, but it's essentially has 3 different clock hands, and it's for his birthday. So he was born on June 15th. So you'll see the hour and minute hand on 6 and 15, and then for however many players, the third hand was for how many players that were there.
Yeah.
So it's like little things like that. People that, our lives move on, and I hate to say, like, no one's ever forgotten, but life moves on.
Mm-hmm.
He had an incredible impact to a lot of people that I know. But even in the short time that he was in my life, it was big. And so I like doing things like that, and not to kind of go down that path. But it's just, it kind of brings back a lot of memories that you don't think about. It's so funny. Like, we have a video, guys staying at the Hampton Inn in Kimball, and homeboy has 2 carts full of food and booze just for their hotel room, which everything was already included in the event,
Right.
but this was that he already brought, and luggage and golf clubs. And it's hilarious because, you don't think, all right, well, a weekend I'm going to bring a duffel bag, but
Right.
this guy comes fully loaded.
2 carts full of stuff.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Pants falling down. He's got a Glock, and it's like, what are you doing?
That's awesome.
It's amazing though. It's good people. Yeah.
So you mentioned getting married at Sweetens Cove. What was that experience like?
Probably more chaotic than it needed to be. And this is from me. This is not from Matt and the guys there. Those guys, like, they did me a favor. My wife wanted to elope in Iceland, and so that's what I tell people we still did, because technically, we did, but I wanted to make it official before we left the country, type of deal, even though Iceland makes it very seamless for Americans to do that. But I figured, why not share this special moment with a place that has been absolutely monumental in my life and has been there for me through every emotion I've ever experienced. So I think, it was just a question, and Matt and Colt and John, like, they were phenomenal. And the fact that Matt said yes, I was just ecstatic. And it was a ton of fun. Everyone got way too drunk, like, the second that it was over. But
at Sweetens Cove,
we had the course tour. We had the court. Well, so it was, friends of the bridal party. When you have an open bar at Sweetens, I don't care who comes, you're in for a treat. But that was when we had to shut the course down. So, like, I get a call from Matt and saying, I've got good news and bad news. I'm like, okay, I've played this game with you too many times, but let's go with the bad news. Like, all right. He's like, let's go with the bad news. I'm like, okay, bad news. All right, the good news is you can still get married at Sweetens. I'm like, bro, I need the bad news. It's like, the bad news is you can't play. We're closing the course. I'm like, easy.
Yeah.
That's the one time I will be okay with Sweetens closing, as long as we can still do that. So yeah, just wanted to have something small. Jason did the food, pretty easy. I did another friend, Jeff Marsh, crushed the pictures. That's really where everything went to. We have pictures for days, and I don't know. It turned out to be one incredible weekend, which I now understand, like, it might be changing for those that want to have events at Sweetens. I don't know if that's still a thing, but I understand that it'll be a different property, and I can't wait to see it. Dude, I'm having withdrawals. The fact that I haven't been there in who knows how long, since Endeavor.
Really? It's been that long?
Yeah.
It's been October since you've been there?
Yeah, because I didn't go to the Ugly Sweater.
Okay. Which you were
So
speaking
that's
to the
usually
champion,
the last thing.
Yeah,
I know.
I have the trophy right
The
over my
time, like, I'm not on the team, you guys win, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You were supposed to be on our team. You bailed. That's right.
Yeah, I couldn't do it because it's always around my wife's birthday, and so like I have to pick and choose depending on how it lands on what we're doing. So of course, and I mean, what 2025 is the year of Poppy, so he's gonna have his year, and then he's never gonna win again.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Yeah, if only that were to be the case. I imagine he's just going to keep adding trophies to his case.
Oh, dude, I mean, he can do it, but if you only have one knee, he's got to adjust. I don't know.
So how's your golf game right now?
I haven't played a round this year yet, which is unheard of for me. Yeah, we're in April and I have not played a round of golf.
Is that just
I've
work,
gone to the
parenting?
I've gone to the range twice. Yeah, I think it's a combination of work, parenting, also being in Louisville. The weather, our weather schedule from January to now is usually a crapshoot. I mean, the same thing with the flooding at the Cove. Like, you never know when it's going to happen. You hit a threshold, but like we got more snow. We had about 3 weeks where it didn't go above freezing, which for this area is just not normal. And so now we're about to get into tornadoes. And so that, on top of, I watch Everly on Saturdays. My wife does a retail schedule, so she's off Sunday and Monday. So Sundays are like our family days.
Okay.
And it's tough. It's tough being away, but like, I've been consumed. Like, it, if I really wanted to, I could have. But all that to say, my golf game should be elite to not have bad habits for at least 2 rounds, and then they'll creep in.
Because it's been so long since you played.
Oh yeah, it's weird how that works. Like, if you take a break, and it's different for everyone, but like I've found that if I take a break for like 2 to 4 months, a lot of times I'll shoot par, which is so weird. But for me, it takes not a ton of swings to remember bad habits. So that first round, I'm just like, let's go with it and, see how it develops. The problem with me is when I play multiple rounds consecutively, and if there's an issue that I can't work out, like, I'll take half swings to find the club face. Like, you do whatever is needed, but right now I would say it's unknown, the golf game.
Okay. Which nearly every time I've played with you, you have pulled a persimmon out of the bag. Has that always have you always hit persimmon off the tee, or is that
so
just
I did
Sweetens thing?
So I no, I actually, and the reason why we're mobile now is because I want to show you some of the ones that I've done, some of the bags that I have of these. But like, I went to Bandon with a great group of guys, and I started playing persimmon right before that, and it reset golf for me, reset expectations, it reset just everything I knew and saw on like the modern game of golf. And man, like that, I think would argue puring a 4-iron is one of the best feelings in golf. Puring a persimmon club, there's no better feeling on the planet for this game, personally. So I started playing that when I went on this trip to Bandon, and I've had at least a driver in the bag for at least 8 years. There was probably a 2-year time I didn't play any modern driver. But I mean, it just resets expectations. Like, I'm further back. My scores didn't change that often or that much. I mean, you just understand if you don't get it, you're struggling for par.
Right.
So,
do you own any that Trevor Larson built?
I do not own any, but I actually,
I ended up down the rabbit hole with him not too long ago, talking about persimmons and looking at some of the ones that my father-in-law has given me. And
So
it's
I met
crazy.
Trevor. Yeah. So I met Trevor through the Kingdom, and he came to that event, and he
Oh yeah,
he
because he's
started
right down
doing
the road.
persimmon. Yeah, and I've been kind of, at least early on, like I've just been watching from afar. Now it's really cool to see what he's doing, and being in Louisville. I mean, I've known Jeremy Wright, who owns Louisville Golf, for a while now. I met him through Peter Schmidt, and being 20 minutes from his warehouse dude, it's a family fun land for all of that. But to go down the persimmon pathway, so this is actually Ryan's. I had it, but it's the one that Trevor built for him.
Oh yeah, Larson
with
Golf.
yeah. Because I think one of the last times, I guess it was Endeavor, I tried it for one of the rounds and it stayed in my bag, and oops, sorry, Ryan. But
He'll get over it.
but I don't have any from Trevor. I honestly, like, I haven't bought plated. The last thing I bought was a Scotty putter from I've been out of the game. Like I used to buy and trade and sell all kinds of stuff. Now I'm just on the sell train, because
Yeah, I was gonna say something about that because normally you're pretty active
a
on
daughter.
socials. Yeah, kid will do that to you.
I
before you become just
hate
selling.
posting. Yeah, I just like the posting. I want to go back to telling stories, because that's what, makes it fun for me. I mean, like, for instance, here, this is another thing, is early on, finding people that have a very good skill set and that don't know whether they turn it into a brand or not. So like one of the big things that, of course, you're familiar with too, like in Matt and all the Sweetens events, like there's a new flag for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to take credit for the fact that, Matt and Nathan got hooked up. And so like this will like I had used Pushcut. I forgot his name, so I'm apologies there. For Breakfast at Tiffany's, I'm like, I need someone to make flags, because I don't, like, again, this was Breakfast at Tiffany's. This was Mad Hatter. Like, oh, here we go. These are not typical normal square flags. So like,
Right.
I gotta find someone, and he reached out and he's like, hey, I haven't done these before, but I'll give them a try. I'll work on it, with my wife. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's design it. Like, he does these head covers. Like he made for Mad Hatter, he made an actual hat. And this is a blade putter cover.
That's so cool.
Right.
Yeah, for the listeners, he's holding up. It looks like the hair and the hat that the Mad Hatter wears.
Sorry. Yeah, it's exactly like that. The creativity of these people, and like, I'm taking credit of what's produced, because it's quote unquote my idea. But when I talk to all of these different talented people, it's hey man, this is what I got. Do your thing.
Yeah.
I think that's where I am able to trust, unless I have a vision for it, depending on what it is. But yeah, like, I think on average each year I work with at least 25 different people, different vendors.
That's crazy.
If you look at everything from stickers to invitations to, I mean, the whole wax seal thing, like, I've got a lot of different ideas for this year that, like, I have an idea for this year that the invitations will be one of the big swag gifts. Like, this will come in a box.
Wow.
And it'll be an interactive invitation.
Goodness
So stuff
gracious.
like that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, again, like, it's been really cool to see. Even like, I have a starter box I did, and a lot of it too is kudos to Zach Blair. He's a creative genius for also playing on tour and doing everything that he is. So,
has there ever been a concept that you thought was just too overwhelming to try and tackle?
in terms of a theme,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but typically it's because I guess I don't look at themes in the overarching totality of, say, hey, let's do Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. I'd be taking either a character or some sort of item or even a scene or something like that would carry the theme.
Yeah.
Because to me, if you did a theme on Lord of the Rings, what the hell?
Right.
Like, where do
Yeah.
you start?
Yeah.
Right. So that would be something where I'd look at Gandalf and I'd do something with the staff and I'd go from gray to white. Like, that would be something very easy. Or, the elves, you could easily do something there. Like, so that's kind of how my brain works with it all. And you definitely get lost in the details. And I know that the details that I care about, I guarantee the majority of you guys don't even know. Or
Yeah.
like, and it's usually because I don't tell them. It's all me. Like, I don't expect anyone to understand the nuances and the details because I forget to tell them.
That's cool though. I mean,
So.
but like you said at the very beginning of like, you love Easter eggs. And so there are Easter eggs in everything. And
Yeah. Look at the first logo in Breakfast at Tiffany's. The syrup drip is, it's in the shape of 5 green. And I told Seth to do that.
It sweetens.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
and there's
cool.
another one where we did Tupac Bunker as an outline. Yeah, there are Easter eggs in every single main logo I've done.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So is Seth McWhorter, you must have some kind of grandfather deal with Seth McWhorter because he is a hot commodity.
Yeah. I would not have this without befriending him early on and working with him. And also too, I don't pressure him. I usually give him 2 months, and our process, we've kind of got it down to where there's probably 1 to 2, maybe 3 passes, and then we have a finished portfolio. Okay. So like, I'm providing a lot of inspiration. I think where he is so valuable, and it's obvious because of his popularity and the work he produces, he's able to very clearly and directly put thoughts on paper. He can take what I'm saying and he can understand my inspiration and really know what I'm wanting.
Yeah.
He's just got the abilities, and believe me, if I could do all of this myself, I would. But this is one thing that I'm not putting. I'm not doing that.
Well, there's something kind of
continue.
nice or convenient is not necessarily the appropriate word, but there's a convenience factor to it being a character from a movie or from a play, so there's already a formulated concept and idea.
Yeah.
And then it's, okay, let's take all these different aspects of this individual or this character and turn them into logos and turn them in, like the clock for Hook. I mean, everything has meaning and value to that story. And then when you put them all together collectively, then it paints that picture and tells that story. And it's clearly a Captain Hook theme. So that's yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. And I mean, really, Breakfast at Tiffany's and Kingdom are the only ones that don't have like characters. Kingdom, I was just going with royalty and Goat Hill, so we did like a Goat King collab with the sword and all kinds of stuff. And then Breakfast at Tiffany's was as simple as like, the Tiffany color was very popular then, and I love waffles, so why not?
So let's do it.
Yeah,
I love that. So we're gonna have a golf event.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it just so happened. I mean, yeah, it's easier to kind of boot tail off of a character, and whether it's like my perspective on that character or playing off of it in my own way. Love a lot of times the main logo of any of the events is really never the most popular or the most well liked. It's always either the mascots or the alternate logos, and I have to rein myself back a lot of times because you get bogged down in some of these details, and it's like, all right, we don't need 7 logos. Like, work on something else.
Yeah.
I mean, even to the scorecards, like I designed all the scorecards. Anything that takes my time and research, that's the OCD of a weirdo pharmacist brain that, now doesn't have as much time, but figures out a way to do it. But
Right.
it's
I would imagine this is going to reach someone who is not familiar with your events and is learning about them for the first time. And if they wanted to sign up
Yeah.
for the event that's happening at Fields Club in August, how would they do that?
Yeah. So everything has always been through Instagram, and it was just easier to do things through my personal account. And then when I found like, hey, let's try to create something separate to just, solidify the concept, creating the King Collective. So we've got, an Instagram there. So either through there or through me personally, just asking or showing interest. Each year, I have a goal, but it always varies dependent on the type of group that we want to have, whether it be a more intimate group or a larger group. And I understand that, times have changed. It's not everyone has COVID free time and not free money, but
Right.
for those that get, whatever type of stimulus check that was, just added income. And I understand too that it's like that time of year is hot, especially with going back to school, fall break, the
Yeah.
things going on. So it's balancing all of that. I've had probably each year is maybe like a third new people each year.
That's impressive.
So and a lot of it's all word of mouth. So I've found that my reach with Instagram is I don't follow the algorithm. I don't do what I'm supposed to do. I hate posting on social media. So I'm at a disadvantage. But the network of people, it spans over 500 easily of just word of mouth, whether you've been to an event over the last 7 years or know someone that has. That's the cool thing about it. So, even those that aren't golfers I've heard stories of finding out about the event. So, but the best way to, if you are interested or want to sign up, it's just go to my Instagram, KMRN Kelly or King Collective, and
With K's.
I'm still old school. Yeah, I don't know. It's a control. I guess it's a control issue too. But
Yeah, no, I get it.
yeah.
Man, thanks for coming on and talking about the entire process and the inspiration and just everything that goes into them. It's always been fascinating to me because I know it is not an easy lift, and you put a lot of energy and time into it, and they look like they are incredible events.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The past few years I've said I will take a break just to not think about it, but I continue to do them. I think as long as I have a theme, there's going to be an event. So
Yeah, because that
probably
fuels
for
you,
the rest
doesn't
of
it?
my life. Yeah, it does.
That's the fuel. Yeah, because then it's just like because then the creative juices start flowing, and I can do this, I can do this. Yeah, I can see how that.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to do with my wife. Like, she's also very creative. She's a writer. She has a lot of ideas, and she helps me so much. So it's something fun that we get to do together. And so I enjoy that, and I've really just enjoyed meeting everyone. And at the end of the day, golf is a platform that we get to consume a lot of our time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our time. but I would never trade it. Like I think it's well worth it in my opinion. So, but yeah, dude, thanks for having me on. I enjoyed it. I know I was rambling a lot of times, but you know, I like sharing what I've done and stories through people to just give someone else any type of inspiration to do something for themselves or for others. Like it's just a way that I like to give back in my own way. It's just it's weird to say that because it doesn't feel like, because I'm not physically giving any, like it's not like you're giving to a charity or like giving your time to volunteer for XYZ. Like, so it's a different feeling. But all that to say,
I get that. I get that, and I don't think you were rambling at all. I think,
fun.
it wasn't rambling. It was you telling your story, which I wanted to hear. So, yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
Couple quick questions.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not used to talking about it.
Oh, really? You're not used to talking about it, really?
I mean, not lately.
Okay,
Yeah.
that surprises
me. I talked to Shannon. I talked to Shannon about it, and I talked to, when people ask, I'll talk to them about it. But it's just not the first thing that normally comes up, unless they know about it and they want to know. But otherwise,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, let's try to play sometime soon. I need to run into you at the Cove.
Dude,
would love to make that happen.
I want to take the family to Birmingham so bad.
Come on.
I know, it's just finding time. The whole retail schedule, like I've got a whiteboard that has our entire family year schedule by month. And it is so depressing because trying to figure out between all of the stuff that, like, I mean, it's essentially saying, all right, do I want to forego member and member guest this year?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No. Like, but
absolutely not.
I need to take them on a trip, like just us and the girls. Like we're going to Chicago in May. Like, I don't know. It's just, but it's so tough when she doesn't get as much time and a different schedule. I can take whatever I want because I don't care anymore. Like the flexibility, I mean, and you know, so it's just figuring out what makes sense based on the schedule and the time of year, and the fact that we're already in April and
is nuts.
We haven't taken any time for ourselves yet.
Well, whenever you want to come to Birmingham, we will love to host you.
Yeah,
you know
love that. Yeah, because I mean, I want to take her. I want to show her Sanford. I want to take her to all the places that I went to. I just haven't been back in a while, and I miss the city. So,
well, come on.
I would like to do that. I just got to see what makes sense. Yeah. Are you involved in any other things like in the area, like Birmingham? Like I know that there was like a big young professional chapter, but there's also like, is it About Town, or is there some other like in Birmingham type stuff for young professionals? No. Okay.
I rely on Jacqueline for all that. She tells me about all the new restaurant. Yeah, no, I don't. No, not involved with a chamber, or I'm not even involved with PTO.
Yeah.
Like we always we tell the teacher of our daughter's class, we're always like, look, we'll show up for field trips, but we're not going to be on PTO. If you need markers, if you need paper towels, let us know. We'll take care of that kind of stuff. But we're not getting involved in class parties, none of that mess.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Have y'all, and I don't know if your wife and daughter care about like the whole other aspect of a country club. Like, do you have a social club outside? Because I know, of course, like you guys are going up to Sweetens even as a family quite often, but like anything local that.
So we were members at Hoover Country Club for a long time. And then it was so there were a few trips to the swimming pool, and this was 2023, maybe 2023. We would go to the pool and you couldn't even get a chair. And so when that happened, I was like, this is ridiculous. I was like, that's why we're paying. And so that's part. We just moved, and we moved to a neighborhood that has a swimming pool, has pickleball courts, actually has 2 swimming pools.
It's got it all.
Yeah, so we've got all that now, which has been just
good.
great. So excited about that this summer. But no, I mean, and we're involved in our church.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the country club scene. We could do an entire podcast on the country club scene in Birmingham. That would actually be a fascinating conversation.
So I'm curious if there was no fact, like money's not a factor, time, who you need to know. If you were joining one club, what is it?
Shoal Creek.
Sorry, you froze.
Shoal
Say it again.
Creek.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Country Club at Birmingham's up there, but I mean, I made the comment to Jacqueline last summer. I was like, Shoal Creek it's just special. Like you go out there and it is a golf experience. Now, it's not exactly a family. It's not a country club. It's a golf club.
And that's the big thing too, because like
Yeah.
if I'm looking at any type of club, it's always the golf is the most important.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking at a golf club versus a country club, you know, those priorities change, but you're still looking at the golf. Like,
and if it's country club, it's probably Country Club of Birmingham and then probably Vestavia.
Yeah, Vestavia's great.
And
there's
we've had the head pro Vestavia on, and he's fantastic. Their head teaching professional is great. Their swimming
awesome.
facilities are nuts. But Vestavia's, and I mean, their greens right now are incredible.
They did a big renovation, probably within the last 5 years.
I think a little longer than that, but yeah,
longer than that. Okay,
yeah, they completely reversed the back nine. I think didn't change the front a ton, but the back nine is completely different than it used to be.
Okay,
and it's
have you played Old Overton?
Come to Birmingham and we'll go play.
Yeah, seriously, like there and Country Club Birmingham. Like it's just when I was there, I didn't play all of those because I didn't have that network in college, but I also was playing Ross Bridge for $10. So like, why would
that's
you
hard
play
to beat.
anywhere else?
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah. Have you played Old Overton at all?
Yeah. That's where my stepdad's a member. Old Overton's great. I love Old Overton.
I love that logo and that whole vibe.
Yeah,
but I
feel like we're in the mountains, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Birmingham's a slept-on city, dude. I still sell it to people.
Sure is. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I mean, I can let you go. You've been hard at work today. You said, did you do another episode before me?
Yeah, we had another one before this.
You said,
yeah. It's been a busy night, but it's been a good night. I've got travel coming up. Robbie has travel coming up, so we got to try and get them recorded when we can. But yeah, it was fun having you on. Thanks for sharing everything about all the events.
Thanks, dude.
It was fun to hear about.
Appreciate you. Like, thanks for listening. Truthfully, I don't think people give a shit about most stuff these days. So like when someone asks me, and I know I kind of instigated like, hey, I want to chat, but like it's nice for someone to want to listen.
No, absolutely. And no, I'd also asked you beforehand. So I was the first person. You just sent a reminder. So yeah. No, I wanted to talk about. I wanted to hear about just everything that goes into those events because I know it's not an easy task. So thanks for sharing the stories.
Absolutely, dude.
Cool. Well, don't be a stranger. Come to Birmingham.
Seriously, yeah.
And let's make that happen sooner rather than later.